Welcome back to Midday Show. We're live today at the Brian Dawkins Driving Impact Celebrity Golf Tournament. Hugh Douglas, Joe Gillian. Joining us right now is BG, Brandon Graham. What's up, BG?
What up, what up, what up? Good morning. That's what I meant to say.
So far, how's retired left treating you? You know, because this, to be honest, B, this ain't the time when you get the itch. Because, you know what I mean? So how you doing so far?
I'm enjoying this right now because it's summertime. Probably be down at the shore sometime coming soon. And, man, enjoying the summer, enjoying them later months, too. August, you know what I'm saying?
Well, you know, in August, I'm going to tell you, when August comes around, that's when the itch is out there.
But September is really when the itch is going to be like, dang.
Yeah.
But you right, that grind, the breaking in of the feet, all the stuff that's going on, them camp eyes, all that, everything.
Yeah. So I've seen, we had a chance, me and Joe, we check out you, we saw you on the NFL Network. So how has that been for you? How have you liked, you know, branching out a little bit? I know you've been doing this with us for a while, but now you're doing the television stuff. How does that feel to you? Does it feel natural?
It feels natural. It feels good. The radio definitely has helped me just even slow down because just being able to be comfortable with the people that you have, just make it seem like it's just a conversation. And some of those guys that I was on with, those were people that I've interviewed with over the years with football, and so it was like we were just reminiscing about old days, and that's where my comfort came.
So, BG, we saw Friday the Eagles traded Bryce Huff. I mean, he was your teammate last year. What do you make of that? Because when he signed him, Hugh was really excited about Bryce Huff coming to the Eagles. 10 sacks with the Jets, and then. Yeah. You know, I know during one point of your career, you were switched back, different kinds of defenses. With him, do you think it was just a bad fit? Like the defense here maybe wasn't what he did well? Because people were excited when they got him, and now 1 year out, now he's a 49er.
Well, I know he's a player. He's a player for sure. I think it's the scheme. Scheme fits, and that's a true thing. And I know going back to that old 4-3 pass rushing type of defense, I know he's going to like it because that's what he does. And so I'm happy for Huff on that because me and Huff, we got close as he was going through things. That's the stuff that you talk about during the year where people is not having the type of year that they want and still being a great teammate. He was one of those guys. You ain't really see him mad about nothing. It was just more, if he was mad, it was more in private, but it was just more of him just being a great teammate, serving, going out there working, giving looks, and I'm proud that he was able to get a ring at least off of it before he got out of there.
So basically, B, you saying that it just wasn't a scheme fit for him. The way that they were asking some of the stuff. I don't want to put words in your mouth.
No, I said it's a scheme fit. It's really like for him. I know he thrived in that 4-3, and I mean that's when I resurrected my career in that Jim Schwartz type of defense. And that's what out with the 49ers, him with the Jets with Saleh. He was the one that was raving about how he loved that defense, and so when he came here, we kind of had the similar traits of getting off and doing all the same stuff because we had that 4-3 for so long, and then we went to 3-4, and so we just had to get used to Coach Vic's way of doing things. You know how I go. Once you know to learn a new technique with your coach, you start going over and over, and you're doing it. It felt good, and I just think that Huff just didn't have enough time to kind of get right.
You know what? Talk about that a little bit because I played in the 4-3 when I was in New York. Yep. And they moved to the 3-4, but I wasn't an outside linebacker. I became the D tackle.
Yep.
So for you, because we're about the similar body type, how different was it for you going from defensive end to outside linebacker? And talk a little bit about some of the responsibilities that you had with that position at outside linebacker.
Well, for one, if you as an outside linebacker in the scheme, you got to be able to jam the number 2, and sometimes the number 2 is like
whoever the receiver
is. If you're lining up out there, even if you got a blitz, sometimes it's delayed. Then you go, but man, jamming that number 2 when you got Devontae Smith standing right there in the number 2, and then you like. Just don't get beat inside because I'm my number 3 on the far left. You got to know all this stuff. You got to know where your help is, where you're not, where your help is not. And I think for me, that was easy for me to pick up because of how fast you got to transfer the information. But actually doing it was what you got to have reps in. And so some people just didn't thrive in that. And when you out there, you got to be able to do both because we know you can play the run and do all that stuff. But how can you jam this guy to give us time to get back there?
So wait a minute. I'm sorry, Joe, because this is fascinating to me because, like I said, in a 3-4, I was the D tackle. So I had like a two-way go,
Yep.
which meant that I had the two gap and sit on the line and play off of everything else. So you mean to tell me that, like, in your blitz, it was all predicated on that, like, where that slot receiver lined up, that number 2 receiver lined up, and whether, like, you didn't get just to go when you got off the line. You had to wait and see.
Yeah.
What was happening? That's a lot.
I mean, well,
and the game is moving. And the game
moving.
is moving.
It's moving
It's
fast.
like a lot of thinking in that.
Yeah,
that spot.
yeah.
It's more. It's not as complicated as maybe as I made, but you just know that if you the one on the so say if it's
strong, say if it's strong right.
Left, so say we blitzing from the left, he'll call like a lucky, or and that tells the defensive with the outside linebacker to make sure he's still lined up on number 2, act like he's not coming, and then go from there. You know what I'm saying? And so sometimes he wants you to chip the guy and then go. And it just depends on who it is, but
you got to get, but the predicate, you got to get hands.
Yeah,
on
you got to get hands.
You're trying to reroute them.
You're trying to reroute them.
That's a lot.
Yeah, and so some dudes really good at it, and some dudes not. And I just know for sure that what's his name is a pass rushing guy, and Huff. I'm happy for him go to the 49ers.
Brandon Graham joining us here at the Brian Dawkins Golf Fund. All right, so one thing that strikes me about the team right now as we get closer to the summer is they're young up front, Brandon.
Yep.
I mean, they're young at your position, at the edge. And I think we all see the talent with Nolan Smith, and we see with Alex Hunt. Do you think those guys are ready for the next step? Because Josh Sweat is gone, and Huff is gone, and you're gone, like veterans that were here. Do you think those young guys are ready, from what you know about them, to take that next step and play more and kind of be the leaders of that room?
Well, I think it's a big step for a lot of them that they got to take, because it's really about the leadership that they got to continue to have while the other guys are not there no more, because it's not going to be guys reminding you. You got to be the ones being the reminders, and the ones, because you've won a championship. You've known what it takes. You've seen certain guys that was here and the work that has to go in. And if you keep that going and you make sure that you are leading the pack with that, what you saying, I mean what you doing more than what you saying, I think that they'll be headed, like the saying part will be, as the season go, they'll continue to grow into that role. But I know it's all about doing exactly what you're supposed to do, working the technique, making sure that you're going out there and serving somebody else, bringing them up, because, I mean, Nolan Smith, he is the guy. I told him, like, you the guy. You got to make sure that you showing them, and then, of course, you got to make sure you breaking them down, giving them some words, and just being you. And at the end of the day, as long as you know being you is all you did, that's the best way I can go out.
All right, we got to Hugh. I think we got to ask Brandon about the big debate we had last week. So I'm not sure if you saw this. You probably were unplugged. So Pro Football Focus put out their list last week. Their top 32 quarterbacks enter in the season. I'm going to tell you where they put Jalen, and you tell me if it's fair or unfair. All right. So they had the elite category. They put 4 guys. They put Patrick Mahomes. They put Burrow, Lamar, Josh Allen. Those were their top 4. Then they had the next tier. And Jalen was the number 5 overall quarterback, and he was the first guy in that next tier. Fair, not fair? Does he belong in that first group? Like, when you hear that, Jalen Hurts ranked number 5, but below those 4, what do you think?
Well, I think about how they always talking about the Eagles and always having us as the underdogs. So it don't surprise me that we still the underdogs, even though we won last year. He's slayed all those quarterbacks, but we gonna keep it quiet. We gonna keep it cute and classy, and Jay gonna just go out there and do his thing again. And when he's done, hopefully they giving him his flowers, because I don't expect him to this year, so it doesn't surprise me.
Last week when we debated this, Hugh's point was, if you win the Super Bowl or you're in the Super Bowl, you got to be one of the top.
You got to be. I mean, that's what I said before, but I'm like, hey, I don't know who's actually doing it. It might be a Cowboys fan that's doing this list.
That's why I didn't say nothing, BG, because I didn't want them to think that I was influencing you in any kind of way.
Oh yeah.
Listen, man. It's not right, but if you win the Super Bowl, and the only reason why I put him at number 2 is because of what Patrick Mahomes has accomplished in his career.
Yeah.
But man, and you've been with him, like, I call it unquantifiable intangibles when it comes to playing that position. Now, Jalen might not be the biggest, he might not be the strongest quarterback when you talk about those other guys.
Yep.
But it's something about him that makes him a leader of men.
Yes.
And that's the thing that people don't seem to get. And not only that, BG, because you've been here for 15 years. It's hard, and you've seen quarterbacks come and go.
Boy.
And you've been in locker room. I can't wait till you write this book now, because I know you're about to write a book. Especially
another one has to be a second book.
Especially after Like you were here for the Carson Wentz thing.
Yeah.
So you saw all of that. Mm-hmm. So you have a unique perspective on what it takes to be a quarterback here for number one from your purview.
Yep.
And how the quarterbacks here handle the adversity that they go through.
Yes, because that's important. That's very important.
Because you see the Carson Wentz thing and how that played out.
Yep.
And you also saw this year how the I guess the word I'm using, maturation of Jalen Hurts or the evolution of Jalen. Because you started out the season one way trying to throw the football.
Yep.
And then it changes. So I just want to know when that book is coming out, man, and
he wants an advanced
what's
copy.
your perspective of all of that? Just seeing him grow as a quarterback.
Man, he's grown because he's been consistent, and I think consistent matters. And then standing on when people don't like some of the choices you make, and just standing on it anyway because that's who you are. You're gonna go out like the way you go out. Because I know he's all about learning. He's all about like getting better as a person, as a player. But people don't see. He don't want people to see the behind the scenes stuff. He just wants you to see the finished product.
Mm-hmm.
And so I know a lot of people just don't know what they don't know about him. And, man, I'm just excited for him to go out this year and shut him up again because you got Josh Allen, who's been to the championship every year. This can't seem to beat Mahomes. You know what I'm saying? This can't seem to beat Mahomes.
Speak on it.
But that boy Jalen done been to the Super Bowl MVP the 2022 year. That would have been, man, if we, a couple calls here, fumble here, we don't do, but hey, they won. But I'm just saying, that boy Jalen came back and went to the Super Bowl again, where Josh Allen definitely hasn't even sniffed it. And it's like, okay. Like, they just like who they like, man. And so that's why I say, Jalen, keep your head up. Your teammates got you. Everybody that's fighting for you, they going to see your consistency, and they going to fight for you on Sunday. And that's all that really matter because people don't never see what they don't see, but they always try to judge off what they see, on game day. But, man, he's a leader of men, as you said, somebody that you want in your room, your locker room, and can't wait to see him this year take that next step and shut him up again.
Well, let's end with this, Brendan. You were 2017. You guys win the championship. 2018, you make it back to the playoffs, but that was kind of a choppy year. It was not as easy. It was more challenging. It felt like. What's the biggest challenge you think this group's going to face in trying to repeat that the whole league is kind of honing in on them as the defending champions?
Don't try to be the team we was last year. It's every year you got to continue to. You got new guys coming in. You got Uche and them guys up front. You got to find out y'all rhythm and chemistry together.
Angry Africans. I want to name them the Angry Africans.
I told you we can't do that.
Hey, well, he got to go. Hey, he got to go show it. He got to go show it. Then you can start. You can put a name on it. Then that's something.
I told you he could say that. I'm not saying. I'm not doing that.
But no, I'm just saying. Really, the question mark is the D line right now. A lot of people don't know what they're going to do. I mean, they know JC, they know Jordan Davis and them guys, but we did lose a lot. Nolan Smith, but it's the other side is open. Jalix Hunt, who is it going to be? It could be him. I like Jalix a lot. I like that he put on some weight this year. I can't wait to see him out there in the grind of it when we get to training camp, just to see him, just grow. Off what he learned last year.
You going to training camp, B?
I mean, me, man.
B, that's gonna be hard. B, that's gonna be hard for you, man.
It's gonna be hard, but I'm gonna be talking my stuff on the sideline. Yeah,
that's gonna be hard for you, bro.
Talking about that D line, boy. Can't wait to see him going against Lane and all them. But you're right though. The offense, man. If we just go out there and don't expect. Don't worry about what last year is all about. Talk about this year and the new focus. We got to have a new focus for this year, and I know Coach Sirianni already captured that and got the saying already, and then you just got to believe it, and then we got to get the other guys believing it, and then it's a daily walk and injury free. That's what you're striving for, to stay healthy, and man, I think we can repeat. We can be going on our three-peat era right now.
Well, there we go. Then Jalen will be right near the top. If they
I hope so.
Yeah,
I don't think so, though.
Then it'd be hard not to do it. BG, we appreciate it. Enjoy today. Beautiful weather and a great spot here. Thank you to Brandon Graham for hopping on with us at the Brian Dawkins Celebrity Golf Outing. Thanks, BG. We appreciate it.
EAGLESEO.
There we go. BG with us.